Hey team, welcome to another Bullpen Bulletin with Coach Hart and Building Better Baseball. This video is for coaches today. If you're looking for a couple of practice activities or practice games that you can play out on the field with your players, then this video is perfect for you today. These two games I have for you today, they are fun and they really get everybody involved as a team as a whole, and they really teach your players about the rules of the game. So they are both very involved, but yet they are simple to operate and simple to explain for the young kids to understand. So I can't wait to share these two games with you. And remember, I'm Coach Hart, this is Building Better Baseball, and this is the best place for baseball education. So let's get into these two games. So the first game I have for you today is called 4 versus 4 versus 4. And it's really perfect if you have 12 players on your team. And if you have a little bit more, you can do like one team of 5 and then 2 teams of 4. But the whole idea of the game is that there are 3 teams. There's one team in the outfield, there's one team in the infield, and there's one team hitting. And your whole goal of the game as a team is to get as many runs as you can. So the only way that you can score is if you're hitting or at bat. The other 2 teams, one team is in the infield, one team is in the outfield, they are working together to try and get the hitting team out. And that's one concept I really like about this game, is that it's not really everybody versus each other. It's really the 2 fielding teams versus the hitting team. Even though there are 3 teams, the outfield and the infield, they're working together to make sure that the hitting team gets the least number of runs as possible. So one important thing with this game is that I think you should do a coach pitch or even like a front toss, because you want as many hits as possible. You want the kids swinging, and if you have kid pitch and your pitchers are not really on that day and they're throwing a lot of balls and walking people, that kind of defeats the purpose of the game, right? This game you want to be moving quickly, and it would be much better if you have like a coach pitch or even a coach front toss where the kids can get a lot of swings and a lot of hits in, right? And like I said, your goal is to score as many runs as you can. And if you have a hitting team that's really good and they're just hitting the ball really well and they're scoring a lot of runs, you could make it move faster or make the rotations go quicker if you cap the runs. So let's say that you let each team only score 5 runs. And once you score 5 runs, then another rotation happens. So you could cap the runs if you have a really good hitting team out there. And another thing is each team gets 6 outs as a hitting team. So you get 6 outs before that next rotation, but after 3 outs, you would clear the bases. So let's say that you have 2 outs and the bases are loaded. If that player gets the 3rd out, then you would clear the bases and basically have another inning per se, right? So this is a really quick game that you could do. It's really just 3 teams, one team in the outfield, one team in the infield, and one team hitting. The hitting team is trying to score as many runs as possible. You can cap it at 5 if you would like, or any number of your choosing. And also the hitting team gets 6 outs. You would just clear the bases after the first 3 outs. And like I said, this is just a really different type of game that involves everybody. It's really quick. It's a lot of fun for the kids. And it's much better than just doing your regular baseball practice where the kids kind of get bored sometimes. This is a great way to spice it up and have everybody involved and everybody having fun while at the same time learning about the game of baseball. So this first game is called 4 versus 4 versus 4. It's a 3-team game, and I hope that you can use it with your team this year so you can have some fun out on the field while learning about the game of baseball. So we're going to move right into game number 2, and game number 2 is called endless batting practice. And it's something that I really like because it emphasizes a lot of different things that happen in the actual game, but it adds a little tone of fun to the game for the young kids to play. So I'm really excited about this game. Now, endless batting practice, it works like this. Now, there are all positions out on the field taken besides the pitcher and the catcher. So as a player, there's no pitcher and there's no catcher. This is a coach pitch game, or the way I do it, I like to do actually a front toss, because front toss, the kids are able to just get more hits and more hits and more hits. And that's the whole idea behind this game. It's a very quick moving game, and it teaches the kids to swing early, right? Swing early at good pitches that they like. And with a coach pitching, sometimes you throw a lot of balls and the kids get kind of stiff. With a front toss, it's very quick, it's very precise, and the kids just swing and they get a lot of hits with it, right? So all the positions are taken except the pitcher and the catcher. So there's one every infielder and there's the 3 outfielders, right? Now, the next thing is the hitters will run the bases normally, right? And they will hit until they are out, right? So there are 7 players out on the field, and everybody else is hitting, and it's a rotation, right? You get in, you have 2 or 3 pitches, and you get a hit, and you run the bases just like a real game. The defense is playing just like a real game. They're trying to get people out, right? The hitter's goal is to never get out. If you do not get out, then you will always be a hitter. So how it works is, let's say that I get up and I'm a hitter, right? And I hit the ball and I get out. Now, the rotation, it's everybody rotates throughout the field. You go by position number. And that's another good thing about this game is that it teaches the kids the position number. So right field number 9, center field number 8, and so on and so forth, right? The right field position is the starting position. That's where the hitter goes or the runner goes when they are out. So the rotation is, once the hitter gets out, they go to right field, position number 9. And then 9 would go to 8, 8 would go to 7, and then you would rotate all the way through with first base being the last fielder, right? That first baseman is now coming in to hit, okay? So the first baseman comes out, they get their bat in the glove, and they get in line to hit. One of the other good things about this game is that everybody gets to play every position in this endless batting practice, right? And that doesn't happen very often. A lot of kids just go to one position and they play that position. This allows every player to play every position besides pitcher and catcher, of course, right? So the rotation, hitter, once you get out, you go to right field. Right field goes to center, and you go down the line, right, by position number, 9 to 8, 8 to 7, all the way to first base. First base comes in and hits, right? And that's the rotation. That's what happens. If you don't get out, then you would be at first base, right? The next guy gets up, they get a hit, you run to second, you run to third, and then when you come home, you kind of peel off, and then you get back in line to hit again, right? So if you do not get out, then you would stay as a hitter. But if you get out, no matter what, let's say that it wasn't even your fault. If you're a runner on first and there's a force out at second base, right, and you get out at second because you're forced, that would count as an out. So you would go off, you would get your glove in your hat, you would go to right field, and the rotation would happen, right? Another thing is there could be a double play, right? So let's say that there's a double play. There's a ground ball, they get a ball to second, and then the ball to first for a double play. That would mean that those 2 hitters who got out, they would then go out into the outfield, and then the first baseman and the second baseman would rotate off, and they would get into the hitting positions. So it's, like I said, it's a continuous rotational game where every defensive player plays every position from right field all the way until first base. Once you get to first base, then you rotate in to be a hitter, and you hit until you get out. And then once you get out, you go into right field and start the process all over. So like I said, the things that this game does is it teaches the positional numbers, right? The kids know which position is what number. It allows every defensive player to play every position, which is really good. As a hitter, it allows you to swing early and take advantage of good pitches early, which is hard for some kids. Some kids, they just want to watch the pitches. This doesn't allow that. I'll give them 2 or 3 pitches and that's it, right? So it allows them to swing early, and it's a very fast-moving game, and it requires a lot of hustle. So it teaches them to hustle because you want to get the hitters out. And if that right fielder, if that hitter who just got out, if they're lollygagging it all the way to right field and that ball is hit to right field, nobody's going to be there to get it out, right? So it teaches hustle, it teaches everybody to keep moving and to always think about situational baseball, right? They have to be aware of where the ball goes on every play very quickly, just like in a game. So they have to be aware of the situation because those balls are coming. Those balls are coming, right? And as a coach pitching or front toss, I like to do front toss because the kids get a much better hits and much better swings on that. But if you would like to do a coach pitch, then you're more than welcome to do that. So these are the 2 quick games that I have for you today. The first one, 4v4v4, outfield, infield, and hitting. 3 teams versus each other, and you're trying to get as many runs as you can as the hitting team. Once you get 6 outs, you rotate. And the second one is endless batting practice, where there's a continuous rotation of players, and you're trying to hit as long as you can. If you don't get out as a hitter and you make it all the way around the bases, you get to hit again. All right? So I really hope you enjoyed these 2 games. I hope that you can use them out on the field this year with your players to spice it up and have some fun out there while also teaching them the rules and the game of baseball. Before we go, look down in the description. I have a bunch of free guides down there that you can choose any of them. I made them for you for free to help you out in your baseball journey. So feel free to grab anyone or all of them if you'd like. All right. Remember, I'm Coach Hart. This is Building Better Baseball, the best place for baseball education. I really hope you enjoyed these 2 games, and I will see you in another video real soon.